Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. So I'm Stacey, and today we're joined by Vicky Otter. And I've been really excited and looking forward to this workshop because, for starters, Vicky is a good friend of ours and she's a wonderful coach. And we just know that there's going to be so much valuable information and insights that's going to be shared with you today. So I really hope that you take something away with you today. Hi, Claire. So it's always nice to start at the beginning by setting a little intention for yourself, and that could just be that perhaps you showed up today to learn something new. Perhaps it's that this is about taking an hour for yourself and just having some time to focus on yourself and having some quiet time for you. Maybe you're really curious already about something and just want to dig a little bit more into maybe what curiosity, compassion, and courage looks like and how that might, or what that might look like for you. So feel free to set yourself a little intention. So I'll do a little bit of housekeeping first. So obviously we are recording this session so that you'll receive a replay afterwards. But I just want to reassure you that any names that might come up when we're kind of reading through any questions or any comments, they will be edited out of any replay that is shared outside of this space, or for anyone who hasn't signed up to this. We've got the chat section here, so you are not on camera, we cannot see you, we cannot hear you, but you are more than welcome to share any comments or any questions or any reflections that you have in the chat area. And we have Hayley and Ellie around to kind of respond to your messages and your comments throughout, because Vicky will be closing the chat throughout most of this session. However, she will invite certain points throughout her workshop to go back and read through any comments and answer any questions that you have. So please feel free just to pop them in whenever they come up for you. I don't think I've forgotten anything else. So Vicky, I will pass on over to you if you're ready to begin.
Thank you, my lovely. That's great. So Stacey, I did realise that we didn't bring up the PowerPoint yet. Is that because I've forgotten to do that?
No, we can.
Oh yeah, no, is it because I forgot?
Right.
Get it now.
Awesome.
Can you see that now?
I can see it. Yeah, we can see that.
So if you can see it, everyone else can see it, right?
I hope so.
Okay, good. Right, so sorry about that false start. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Hayley. Oh, Hayley, thank you for letting me know that you can see it. I'm now going to just exit out of that chat and pop that over into a different window so that I can, I find it really hard. I don't know if any of you have done kind of trying to talk at the same time as read the chat, and I get really distracted and I'll just stop mid-sentence and like find myself reading the chat. So I'm going to just pop it to the side, but I will come back to it, like Stacey said, throughout this. So welcome to today's workshop, which I'm so grateful for Hayley and Stacey asking me to do. At the time of being invited to do it, this is a comfort zone stretch for me. I had a flurry of, I don't know that I have anything to offer, come about, which was great to sit with and see where that took me. So, and it took me to, actually, this might be quite cool to share. So here we go. So today's workshop is about cultivating curiosity, compassion, and courage for your growth. So, firstly, then, welcome. Welcome to all of you here this morning, just as you are. Every part of you is welcome here. And we join this space as fellow explorers. So I am not here to impart some wisdom that you don't have available to you. I will share what I've seen, and I expect that you will have things that you have seen in your life for yourself. You'll have things come up today. The wisdom that connects us all is running through all of us, like a river that runs through all of us, and we never know when and where it's going to bubble up. So I am here alongside you today. I'm going to present some things to you that hopefully will, well, they'll do what they will. They'll do what they will, and we'll leave it open. So I'm going to kind of talk to you a little bit first about this philosophy of being a fellow explorer and you being welcome here just as you are. And then throughout the workshop, I'm going to introduce you to different understandings, different ways of looking at things, a lot through metaphor, and see where that takes us. So the first thing to say is that I've come to realize that, and what I'm sharing with you today, by the way, is what it looks like to me now, knowing that we are all growing and evolving all the time. So I might come to this same content next week and have a different spin on it, see it differently, and we're completely allowing of that in this space as explorers. We are a becoming, we're an evolution. There is no fixed point where we will fully become ourselves, where we will have made it, where we will have reached the end point. That's an illusion. There isn't one. We are constantly evolving and becoming. So that's why I'm here as a fellow explorer with you, because all of us are here becoming something, evolving as we are all the time. And what I'm sharing with you today isn't a belief that I expect you to take on. So I don't want you to feel like, oh, Vicky said that, I should like work out if I agree with it, and then if I like it, I'm going to take it as a belief. There's no expectation for that. This isn't really even about beliefs. I'm going to share an understanding, and you see what resonates for you. You will know if it does. The feeling of resonance is like a relief. It's like oh, I see that. It's like a rising up from within. It's a softening. It's a gentleness. You'll know when something resonates, and you can trust that. That resonance is you. That resonance is you. That resonance is your wisdom coming through you with something helpful for you, and you can always trust what resonates. So I want you to play with this. I invite you to be open, to be curious actually about this, and hold it as what ifs. Play with it. There might be things that come up that feel confronting to you, that go against how you saw life, and that's okay. Be with that. You are allowed to disagree. You are allowed to feel that confrontation. We're going to just allow that to be, and see where that unfolds to. What I find can be helpful is when there's confrontation, when there is something that's confronting, the mind wants to try and fix it. So we can go up into our heads, and we can get taken off into a whirlpool of thoughts and trying to work it out and trying to fix it and secure it, and I don't know what it is and I don't like it, so it's got to have something done about it. So what I invite you to do is, as if any confrontation arises, notice it. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that she said that, or I don't like that idea, and hold it, and then settle back into, okay, we're just going to sit with that confrontation. There's nothing we need to do with it. We don't need to work it out. We're just going to notice there's confrontation, and then we're going to return. Okay, let's see what else is here. Open again. Play with it. Sit with the what if. What if that thing that's really confronting to me could be true? And just sit with it. So there's nothing for you to do. There's nothing to grasp. There's nothing to grab. There's nothing to get here. This isn't an intellectual exploration. Just let land what lands, and trust that that's okay. Now, what's landing here is my cat making a lot of noise. And I think she wants to go out. I'm just going to put her outside. Please bear with me one moment. We thought she'd be a nice addition to the workshop, and then she has done her part, and now she's left the stage. Okay, so I'm going to go on to the next slide. Now, okay, so this is our first metaphor that we're going to explore together. And this is something that I've come to see more recently on my own adventure of life. And I'd love you to consider the metaphor that you are the ocean. Life is the ocean, and you are life expressing itself in the form of you. So everything we see, everything that happens is part of this bigger ocean. You are that ocean as well. And all experience is part of that ocean. So the thoughts, the feelings, the sensations, ideas, imagination, all the ocean. The happiness, peace, anxiety, confidence, depression, joy, self-doubt, pleasure, pain, all the ocean. There's nothing that isn't the ocean. And what sitting with this can help us to realize is that we are already complete and whole just as we are. Whatever experience we're having, whatever is happening for us in our life, there is never a moment at which you are not that whole, complete ocean. And the experience is rising up as part of the ocean. There's nothing that isn't the ocean. It's all part of the wholeness. So you're complete and whole already, just as you are. There's nothing broken, nothing to fix, because there's nothing that isn't the ocean. It's all life expressing itself in form, in some way. And that ocean is you. That's who you really are. You're all of it. You're everything. You're not one fixed thing. It's everything. And I've come to see that sometimes with our experience, there's certain experiences, and some of you may currently be in this position, I don't know. There's some experiences that we feel like we don't want. So we want to try and get rid of them, or we want to try and change them. We want to try and fix them, actually. And that's completely normal. That's all part of the ocean too. So this searching, this fixing, all part of the ocean. But it tends to be part of the ocean when we don't realize we're the ocean. So it looks like anxiety or depression or nervousness is something that we need to fix. It looks like that can't be part of the ocean. It's too painful. It's too horrible. It's too uncomfortable. And so we naturally seem to try to do something about it. We forget innocently that we are the ocean, that all of that is the ocean as well. And in knowing that it's the ocean, it doesn't deny its existence. So we're not saying, I love that I say we, who's we? I'm not saying. So I'm not saying the anxiety, depression, pain doesn't exist. It exists, we experience it for sure. But there's a whole other way of being with it when we can see that it's part of the wholeness, when it's part of us, when we don't need to fix it and change it. And that makes a big difference. So that's the kind of the starting point that I want to start from is in this recognition of your wholeness, of our wholeness. We're all the ocean. We're all part of it, just as we are, just as you are. And so as we explore today, I'm doing so with an exploration. I'm exploring with a recognition of your wholeness, of our wholeness, and we're holding it from there. We're not coming in with something to change or something to fix. We're coming from a different place. And I invite you to explore that place for yourself, to ease into it, to settle in, and see if that, just to see what that's like, with curiosity, I suppose. Okay, so from that place of wholeness then, I'm going to kind of give you a bit of a guided tour through an understanding of ourselves and through an understanding of our mind. And it's through this understanding that curiosity, compassion, and courage are cultivated. So this is not going to be a class about these are the ways in which you can cultivate compassion, courage, and curiosity. If you want more curiosity, do this. That's not where I'm coming from today. I'm sure Google has a lot of ways. I haven't checked, but I'm sure there are loads of ways that there are to do that as a doing. We're kind of taking a step back from that, and we're thinking kind of, where are we? What do we understand? Because with the understanding that I'm going to share with you today, curiosity, courage, and compassion naturally arise from that space. So the cultivation is through understanding rather than a how-to. So great. Okay, I'm actually going to stop and see what's happening in the chat. I wasn't going to stop this early, but I'm going to just see if I can bring that up now. Okay, great.
Lots of people like your cat.
Oh, sorry that she left.
Yeah. And lovely comment there from Ellie as well about what you were saying, Vicky, and how it makes us feel so connected to. I think that's such an important aspect, isn't it? It's recognizing that we're all in this together.
Yeah, amazing, super. Thank you for those comments in the chats. That's great. Okay, so if I pop that to the side again. Okay, awesome. Okay, so next part here then is when I planned this on PowerPoint, by the way, it was these were going to come up, you know, when you do those animations on PowerPoint and they come up like a bit at a time. So I'm sorry that you're getting kind of the whole slide at once. It looks like a lot of writing at once, but there we go. That's as we are. Today so this is the part when I said about cultivating curiosity, courage, and compassion. By cultivating today, we are looking at cultivating as a revealing, an opening up to, a recognizing, an understanding. So there's no how-to practices today. This is an understanding of what is already within you. There's nothing to add in. We don't need to add in curiosity and add in courage and add in compassion. That's who we are already. So this is about revealing who we are. So what I would love you to do is to type into the chat. Sorry, just get my notes in the right order. To type into the chat, if you wouldn't mind, what you think. Let's start with curiosity. Are you able to type into the chat what your ideas of curiosity are? What does that word mean for you? And I'll stop talking so you can type. Yeah, great. Exploring and being inquisitive, asking why, openness, questioning, being interested in things. Brilliant. These are great. Yeah, super. So the words that came to mind for me were open-mindedness, inquiry, being interested. I think someone said that already. Yeah, interested. Inquisitive, great word. Moving towards rather than away from, and non-judgment. Challenging, yeah, it kind of is, isn't it? It's like questioning. There's a feeling of not accepting, not accepting necessarily, but like not resigning ourselves to the fact of something. It's like, actually, let's question that. Let's get curious about that. Yeah, challenging. It's a great word. Super. Okay, so moving on to compassion then. What words would you use to say what compassion is, please? Yeah, empathetic. Showing love, understanding, and care. Beautiful. Connecting. Feeling something. Yeah. Hugs. Yeah. Oh. Understanding others. Absolutely. Great, super. Thank you for those contributions. Yeah, very similarly. So yeah, I said empathy as well, understanding, kindness, love, non-judgment, tolerance, allowing, accepting, lightness and heart, I see, yeah, added there, holding space, giving myself a break. Yeah, stop being hard on myself. Brilliant, absolutely. So when we're talking about cultivating compassion, we can be meaning for ourselves as well as others, for a compassion for others. Beautiful. Having some leeway, right? Yeah, having some leeway. Beautiful. Yeah, great ideas. Super. So that's compassion then. And courage. What words would you use to describe courage? Comfort zone stretching. Bravery. Being brave. Feeling afraid but having a go. Anxiety. Not wanting to, but doing it anyway. Vulnerability. Oh yeah. Excited. Encouraging yourself to feel liberated. Oh, I love that. Liberated. What a great word. Stepping out of comfort zones. Absolutely. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much for those contributions. Brilliant. Yeah, so I had very similar. So bravery, holding still with things that are hard, doing difficult things, being with difficult feelings, being true to yourself, being honest, staying when you want to running. So this last point that I got to here, actually, when I was going through this for myself, is the same thing that you have shown here in your different perspectives, which is brilliant. That compassion, courage, and curiosity are going to show up in different ways at different times. Isn't that beautiful? Like, it doesn't take one form. It's not one way of doing it, of doing something. Like, it can show up in all these different ways. And so knowing that gives us more freedom, that there's not a particular way that we have to be using our curiosity, our compassion, and our courage. It's going to show up and take form in different ways in different situations. Thank goodness. Thank goodness that it's adaptable like that, because life is changing. Life changes. Change is the one thing we can rely on. And so thank goodness our system is built to adapt to that. Bringing the curiosity, the compassion and courage in different ways. So super, thank you so much for your contributions there. So moving now towards, now we kind of have an understanding of what we mean by those things. I'm going to introduce you to the next metaphor. So this metaphor is one that you can use for lots of different things, and I do. And sorry, I see here that this has somehow got like shrunk into this, and this is me not checking. I didn't check through this, but don't worry. Oops.
Was when I uploaded it onto Demio, it shifted the format slightly. I do apologise.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure that we can understand what it's meant to say. It's fine. Yeah, so, okay. So firstly, I want you to imagine that curiosity, compassion, and courage exist within you, exist within all of us, exist within the ocean. Just like that, the sun exists in the sky. And just like the sun exists in the sky, these things are within you always. The sun is always in the sky. These qualities are always within you. But just like the sun on some days and sometimes, is that sunshine can become obscured in the sky. And it's obscured by clouds. And it can feel as if the sunshine has gone. It can even appear as if, I mean, we're blessed today, where I'm calling from today, beautiful sunshine. There are some clouds in the sky, but I definitely know the sunshine's there. Yesterday, not so much. Yesterday, completely cloudy. It appeared as if the sunshine had gone. And we get that in our experience too. In our experience, the clouds are thoughts and feelings that come in. And there are all different thoughts and feelings that come in, and just like to the sun in the sky, they seem to obscure those qualities of curiosity, courage, and compassion, they seem to obscure them within us. So I was kind of having a think, what kinds of thoughts and feelings seem to obscure this? So we might be having thoughts about the future. We might be having self-critical thoughts and feelings, resistance thoughts and feelings. Memories might come up that seem to obscure this curiosity, courage, and compassion. Fixed thoughts, like fixed ideas that seem not to be able to change. Self-doubt, clinging thoughts, a fixed idea of who we are, or who we should be, or how we should be. Angry thoughts, doubtful thoughts and feelings, anxious thoughts and feelings, worried thoughts and feelings, depressed thoughts and feelings. All of these and more can come in and make it appear as if the curiosity, the courage and compassion, which is inherent within each of us, is not there. However, just like the sun in the sky, on a cloudy day, we don't all run into a frenzy, get all worked up about where the sun's gone. We aren't running around, the sun has disappeared out of the sky, we definitely need it back, it's definitely important for a whole load of things. There are these big grey things in the sky, and I can't see the sun, and we need to find it. And we don't run around in a panic. And we don't do that because we know how the system works. We know what we can trust. We know the clouds will move. We know the sun is behind them. We know that it's there. And this is exactly true for you too. The courage, compassion, and curiosity is within you, as are many, many, many other qualities: peace, love, confidence, lightness, beauty, peace of mind, calmness. It really doesn't matter what words we put to it. What I'm pointing to is the fact that you are everything you're looking for already. You have that within you. It's never not been there. It's never gone anywhere. It may be obscured. There may be something in front of it just like the clouds in the sky. But it is always, always within you. It never goes anywhere. It cannot be taken away. It cannot be reduced. On a cloudy day, the sun hasn't become smaller. The sun hasn't lessened. The sun is still perfectly shining up there. It's just that we can't see it, or we can't feel it necessarily on that cloudy day. But it is there, 100%. So there's no building, there's no improving that needs to be done on curiosity, courage, and compassion, or any other quality that you seek, because it's there within you 100% already, never gone anywhere. Okay, I'm going to nip to the chat and just see. I'd love to know if you want to share anything here, or you want to respond to that metaphor and say how that's landing for you, or ask any questions. Ah, great. Great, Stacey.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks so much for saying that.
It feels comforting almost, I would say, actually. There's a sense of comfort there.
Brilliant. So Stacey's talking about then the word I used for this at the beginning was resonance, like something resonated. And we know because we settle. It's like, oh, like a relief, like we're comforted. Beautiful, Stacey. Thank you. I just need to let the cat back in. You are a tinker. I can't ignore your meowing. If I could, then I'd left you out there. Okay, let's look at this comment. So yeah, it's really lovely. I've always looked at thoughts as clouds, but never put the sun into it. Yeah, like Stacey said, very comforting to know it's always there. Amazing. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much for the comment. Alrighty, pop the chat away. Let's go on to the next part of understanding. Oh, sorry, press the wrong button. Oh, did I just miss something there in the chat? I think I did. Let me just see. Makes me feel that all the things I am is still there. It's not lost, and I can find my way back and move forward. Oh, that's really touched me. Yeah, not lost. Of course you can.
Is experiencing some resistance with that idea that all these qualities are already within us. I don't know what the question is at the end of that. If there is some resistance there, how can we hold some space for that?
Lovely. Thanks, Stacey. So Stacey's answered her own question here. How do we hold space for that? We hold it. We say, okay, there's resistance here. That doesn't feel true for me, or however that resistance is taking form in you, and we allow that to be. You're allowed to feel resistance. You're allowed to feel challenged and to feel like you want to challenge this and to feel like it's not true for you. That's it. That's how we hold it. We hold it. It's there. It's present. It is like these clouds, and it can move and transform, and that's how it's looking in this moment. And it doesn't mean that it's always going to look that way, but right now it does. So we're going to honor it. We're going to hold it just as it is, and we're going to then breathe and open again and see where that takes us. Does that answer that for you, Stacey? Cool. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to just open up the second part of the presentation. Okay, great. So this is another way of understanding ourselves, something that I've come to see really recently, actually, through the Quiet Connections community, which was super cool. Yeah, so this is that, a little like I talked about at the beginning, that there's nowhere fixed to get to, there's nowhere to arrive to. And actually, I've come to see that there's nothing ever that's fixed about who we express as. Oh, I'm realizing this is the first time I've languaged this and said it out loud, possibly, which is weird because I promise I did plan this. I planned this. Those are the words that have just come out. So the expression of you, of who you are, the expression of you as the ocean, as that completeness and wholeness, expressing itself as you, is not fixed. In fact, it's everything. So, hang on, I'm just deciding. Am I deciding? I'm just deciding whether to share something with you, a story with you, and it's I love that it's come up now. So here we go. Okay, so what I realised as I was invited by Hayley and Stacey to join the Quiet Connections community and to come on board as a coach, which I've been doing for a while now, like a couple of years or so, maybe even longer, I can't remember. It's over 2 years now, isn't it? Yeah, so over 2 years ago, and I was invited to come on board as a coach, and that was a really wonderful thing. Has always been a wonderful thing. But what happened within that joining of the community was that I didn't feel like I fitted into the community. So I would not have described myself as a quiet person. In fact, the opposite. I would say that I'm quite loud, that I often have something to say, not really fearful about standing up in front of people and sharing what I think, happy to give that a go. And so when I thought that Hayley and Stacey in their quiet community were there to perhaps even support a community of people who identified as quiet, me identifying as loud, extroverted, outwardly confident, whatever else I'd built around my identity that wasn't quiet, I felt like I didn't fit. And so I kind of felt like a bit of a fraud. And this all came to a head at kind of around the same time of being asked to do this if I wanted to run a workshop. So something really beautiful happened when I saw that that's what was going on. So I saw, I think I don't fit because I think I'm this one thing. I think I'm loud, confident, extroverted. Now, the more I moved into that with curiosity, with compassion and courage for myself and what was happening, I saw that I had limited myself into this fixed identity and that I wasn't always that I wasn't always confident. I wasn't always extroverted. I wasn't always knowing what to say. In fact, I was finding myself in situations where I didn't know what to say in front of a group of people. And then I felt like, oh my goodness, this is a really bad thing. This isn't me. I normally know what to say. Come on, find something to say. And I'd kind of trying to like push myself into this extroverted idea that I had of myself. And wow, look at me doing that to myself. And then I thought, oh, I've misunderstood the yin and the yang of life. This image came to me. I love the image of the yin yang symbol. It was as if, looking at that image now, I thought I was just the white. That was all I was. I couldn't be the black. I wasn't the black. I'm not quiet. No one in this world would describe me as quiet. And yet I was. There are parts of me that are quiet. There are parts of me that don't want to talk in a group. There are parts of me that, oh, wish just everyone would just go away. I just want some time on my own. There are times when I go on a silent meditation retreat because I just want the quiet. And I was denying that part of myself. Wow, that's part of the wholeness. I'm all of it. I'm not just extroverted. I don't even really associate with that word at all, but I'm not, just the one that always has something to say. I'm not just that. I'm this quietness as well. Wow. I'm all of it. I'm allowed to be all of it. I'm the voice and the quiet. As are you, as are we all. We've identified perhaps differently. We've identified more with the quiet or more with the unquiet. Unquiet. That's quite a funny way of describing myself. We're all of it. And we've identified, sorry, I lost my train of thought because I amused myself. We identified perhaps more as the quiet and more as the unquiet, but in fact, we're all of it. And this community isn't about taking all the people who identify as quiet and helping them to be unquiet. It's not like, oh no, any unquiet people stay out, you're not quiet people. I was like mind blown at what is going on in the quiet community when I saw, oh, this is for everyone, because everyone has the quiet and the unquiet. And all that's happened is we've identified one way or the other and we've forgotten that we're all of it. And when we can see that we're all of it, or when I saw that I was all of it, this like flooding in of all this quiet that I had been holding back, flooded in. I was finding I was drawn to quiet meditations. I played with practicing some Qigong, and I didn't want a video with any words on it. I just loved this video I found of this woman silently doing her Qigong with words at the side to describe what movement I was meant to do. The quiet. And it was like this full embracing of myself as the complete and the whole. And that's possible for everyone, to realize that we are everything in any moment. One moment we might be quiet. One moment we might be louder. One moment we're kind. The next moment we're unkind. One moment we are courageous. The next we're fearful. None of that is fixed. It's everything. Everything in you, and as your experience is welcome. Well, it's not even welcome. It just is. It is all of us. We're everything. And that was very powerful, as you can probably tell from the way that I've told that story and wasn't intending to tell the story. Really powerful to see that we're everything and we don't need to hide out any part of ourselves. And the only thing that stops that wholeness is when we identify as a particular fixed thing. Maybe that's always only ever the problem. I don't know. When we think we're stuck, it's because we've identified with something fixed and we've forgotten that we're flow. Yeah, cool. Okay, I'm going back to the chat. And Stacey looks like she might talk as well.
I just loved everything that you just said there, because I feel like that really comes back to that idea of like the stories that we make up about ourselves, or like the stories that we've created throughout our lives that we perhaps to this point haven't questioned or challenged or asked ourselves, like, does this still, like, is there truth in this? Is there truth? Or actually, like, what more could be a part of this story that I have about who I am as a person? And I think actually when we recognize that we are like such creative beings in terms of like we get to choose and create the stories for ourselves.
Yeah.
We get to rewrite our stories, and we can rewrite them as many times as we like, and we can, you know, change that story as many times as we like throughout life. And in fact, like naturally that story will continue to change and evolve anyway, because like you said, everything is changing, everything is evolving, everything is flowing. And yeah, I think like when we can just like recognize that within ourselves, like we realize actually that we're just so powerful. And that, yeah, we're not limited to one thing or one identity like you described there. And I think the same thing was very common for me as well throughout my life, where it was like I felt like I wasn't allowed to be quiet or loud. So I had shame on kind of like both sides of that, because it was like I don't feel like it's acceptable to embrace those quieter aspects of myself, but then I also don't feel like it's acceptable to embrace the louder aspects of myself. So I was kind of like stuck in this like middle space of like, who am I? How do I express like all of those parts of myself? And that was really the thing that felt like it was just keeping me hidden. So yeah, I think it's a really lovely thing to share.
Great, Stacey.
Lots of comments.
Are there? Let me have a look. Okay. Oh, hang on. Okay, so how do I get to the right point in the chat? I don't know. Oh, sorry, I'm scrolling up. Okay, here we go. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so it's a bit like we have the answers we're looking for. The problem we have is we don't always know the questions we need to ask to find those answers. Ooh, nice perspective. Okay, some things about the replays. You have extrovert armor. Oh, I like that. Extrovert armor. I like it. I don't know what it means, but I like it. Feel free to say more about that if you'd like to. But yeah, maybe extrovert armor. Oh, I love that. Here's what I used as my armor. Maybe not all the time, but sometimes, absolutely. I guess for me, it became my way of finding approval. People seemed to quite like it when I was quite loud and like leading stuff and loudest voice in the playground and getting people's attention. And I guess people quite liked it. So it became my way of, getting approval from people, trying to secure myself. I love the armor bit though. That's intrigued me. Thank you for putting that out there. There are parts of all of us that are quieter and parts that are louder, even when we might be showing up one way or the other. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And louder, even quieter and louder, it's like our next part of the exploration will be move into that. What do we even mean by that? Does louder mean being the one on the playground with the loudest voice? Not all the time. Loudness can show up in can loudness show up in a quieter way than the one with the loudest voice? Like sometimes we say that silence is the loudest thing. So yeah, cool exploration of what louder and quieter actually would mean. That would be fun. This is such a great thing to share. It's so easy to silo ourselves that we forget that we are a bit of everything. Yeah, absolutely. Makes me feel so good about myself, just like the ocean. Sounds very freeing. Movements of quiet and noise, stillness and movement. Beautiful. It sounds very freeing. Why do we silo ourselves then? Oh, this is a great question for the next part of today. Where does the expectation come from? Childhood. Feels like we are all emotionally and inherently, is that, equipped to explore who we are? Oh my goodness, aren't we just? Oh, this is such good comments. Absolutely, emotionally and inherently equipped to explore who we are. In fact, it's as if you could explore or question or wonder, is that what we're here for? Like, is that our purpose? To find out who we truly are. No other purpose than that is to realize who we are even. And of course we'd be equipped for that, because that's the whole point of being here. So cool. Completely agree with Stacey. The who am I question felt very familiar. Yeah, absolutely. Wherever you go, there you are. Yeah, I love that quote. Who said that? Wherever you go, there you are. I love it. I think we're often asking the questions, who am I supposed to be, rather than who am I? Oh, totally. What a different question. Who am I already here right now? And then we get caught in who am I supposed to be? That is beautiful. Yeah. So true. It's just cultivating that curiosity to do so. Yeah. Well, the curiosity is already in all of you and shining bright because you're here. So we know that it's already there. Think of yourself as a knight going into battle, putting on your armor. Oh, thank you. This is the explanation of the armor. Think of yourself as a knight going into battle and putting on your armor for the fight ahead. I've been told I have extrovert. You have extrovert armor too. Yeah, right. I'm gonna go into battle and my armor is being extroverted. So cool. I'm so going to ponder that. Thank you so much. Such a good point. I often feel silently loud. Yeah, amazing. Me too, Julia. Silently loud. Lovely. Oh, such good comments. Thank you so much for the interactions. Oh, amazing. Okay, so I'm aware of the time. I'm aware I have got too much content. So just bear with me a moment, because I think that the most helpful thing here would be the what happens if. Sorry, Stacey.
I was going to ask you, is anyone in a rush to leave at 11:30, or are you happy for Vicky to continue? I just thought I'd put that out there, Vicky, because
yes,
what you're sharing is really valuable.
That's a good idea. That's the way to do it. I could just keep running. Okay, so some able to stay and some needing to leave. Okay, so I'm going to go to the bit that actually I think makes most sense for me to do now, and then if there's extra bits, we'll tag those onto the end and people can have them in the playback if they're not able to stay. So I think actually I have a feeling the next part is, okay, it is the answer. Okay, what is the answer? It's not the answer. It's the idea that I seem to have landed on. Okay, so I can't remember quite what the question was, but it was something around, so why do we do this? Why do we limit ourselves like this? That's a great question. Essentially, it's kind of like, as part of the evolution of who we are, it seems to be that it's almost as if we need to forget who we are in order to remember who we are. I don't know why. I don't know why it seems to be like that, but I'm going to talk you through kind of the process of how that happens, and hopefully that might explain why we end up with this limited idea of who we are. Okay, so and the question, the way I worded that question was, if we are curiosity, compassion, courage, love, peace, confidence, why don't we always feel it, right? So what happens? Why, if we are infinite, why do we feel limited? Why do we see ourselves as limited? And so I'm going to talk to you a bit about how we form this separate identity. And I just need to re-find my place in my notes. Sorry, hang on a second. Oh, yeah, okay, right, I'm starting from there. Okay, so, sorry, this is because anyway, never mind, right, carry on. Okay, so what seems to happen is the identity that we develop, although is based on something that fluctuates and changes, so shyness comes and goes, loudness comes and goes, kindness comes and goes, thoughtfulness comes and goes, self-loathing comes and goes, something happens that means that we take those things that are changing and moving and we fix them. And which ones we fix will be, as far as I can see, a result of our experience, a result of what we learn from those around us, a result of learning what people say to us, learning how people behave around us, the environment that we're in. It's all of it. Like, and who knows why we pick up on which ones. So although, going back to my example, so although when I was growing up, I was quite often praised for my confidence and ability to speak, did public speaking competitions, there was quite a lot of positive praise in it. Somewhere in there, I also learned that sometimes I'm too loud and sometimes I need to be quiet and sometimes I've got too much to say. And who knows where that came from, because I was being rewarded for it. So it's kind of like, it's although we say it will come from what we learned as children and it will come from what we learned through our experience, who knows how it gets filtered and which ones we end up with. So, okay, so experience is changing, how we are expressing is changing, and we fix some of it. And that just seems to be the process by which we develop this separate identity. So if we go back to when we're born and we come out of our mothers, we don't know that we're separate from her. This is such a cool thing, right? A baby doesn't know that it's separate. A baby has to learn that it's separate. It comes to a realization, oh, this thing moving in front of me, I seem to be able to do something with. Oh, hang on a minute. I thought that I was just attached to my mum, and it comes to realize that it is like a separate being, a separate entity. And along with that realization of the body being separate, a self-identity that is separate from your mum, from your dad, from your brother, from your sister, from the cat, from the dog, a separation starts to occur. The trees, the clouds, like literally we had no idea that we weren't separate. And yet this separation comes up and we start to follow an identity from that. And there are two questions as we are growing up in those developmental stages when we're young. Two questions that I read this somewhere. I can't even tell you where I read this, but it really stayed with me. It made so much sense. We have two questions. Am I safe? And do I matter? And we are constantly looking out at the environment, out to the relationships to answer those questions. Am I safe? And do I matter? And the answers to those questions help develop this separate identity. They help develop a sense of who we think we are. And obviously the answers to those questions can be varied. You know, some people will be growing up and they are having feedback, yes, I'm safe, yes, I matter. Some people will be having feedback of, no, I'm not safe, no, I don't matter. Some people will be having a varied experience of that. Some people will be having feedback, yes, I do matter, and still be confused because they don't feel like they matter. Why when everyone tells me that I matter, do I not feel like I matter? So it's all sorry, I'm just closing the chat. So tempted to read it there. So anyway, so we start to develop a sense of whether we're safe and whether we matter. And Hayley and Stacey pointed me to don't know how to say his name. Gabor Mate is how I'm going to say it today. About attachment and belonging, and he talks about attachment versus authenticity. And I think that Stacey maybe even did a video about this at some point this week. Am I right about that? Oh, okay. I haven't watched it yet, but yeah, I saw it go up.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Cool. Okay, so attachment versus authenticity. And this is where he talks about, so our attachment, our relationships when we're growing up are very, very important. Biologically, I presume, like built into us is this need to belong. Evolutionarily, it is safer to belong to a bigger group of people in terms of for our survival. And so it's built into us to want to attach to relationships around us. The thing with relationships is that they are more complicated than just, okay, there's an attachment, there's an attachment. They kind of seem to come perhaps with some expectations or some conditions. So there isn't just a pure attachment, although there might be. There is an expectation around how we are in order to secure that attachment. And so I'm really paraphrasing, and I'm sure Stacey did a very much better job of me than this yesterday on her video. But what that means then is that we think we have to be a certain way in order to secure the attachment. And therefore, we are posed with this question: am I safe to be who I really am? Am I safe to be my wholeness? Am I safe to be quiet and loud, or the in-between? What? And we don't know if we are. And so we're constantly searching for the attachments. We're trying to secure the attachments, but we're trying to be who we are. We're trying to learn who we are. We're trying to authentically show up as ourselves, but we don't know if we can. If that were to damage a relationship, we might hide who we think we are or who we believe ourselves to be in order to secure the attachment. So anyway, so we end up in this space of, you can see how complicated it is actually, the development of this self-identity and all the factors that are pulled into it. And you can probably feel, I even feel it as I'm talking it, limited in, this in, this in. I can feel like my whole body is changed as I'm even talking about this. So there I am, sunshine, and here I am talking about, yeah, and then, you know, this happens, and then this happens, and this happens, and we're trying to secure an identity, and we're trying to secure attachments, and it's all hard work, and it's all conditions. And the people we're trying to attach to also have all of that in themselves. They have this fixed identity, perhaps, of who they are. And so we kind of are merging into their self-identity. So we grow up learning messages about how we should be, how we're meant to be, how we are, and they are inherently limited, because as soon as we identify as any one thing, we block out everything else. So if I was identifying as extroverted, I can't possibly be introverted. I can't be both. I must be one. I must find it and fix it in place, and then I must nurture that, and I must be that. And so we limit ourselves. We forget that we're everything. And this is all completely innocent. It seems to be that we develop a separate identity as a very healthy, natural process of, I don't know if I can say this, a natural process of forgetting who we really are, in order that at some point we start to question it. We start to think, oh, this feels really icky. Like, this is really limited. This is really bad. I feel bad about myself. In fact, I hate myself. We feel so low, so bad, that it prompts us to question. It prompts us to see if there's another way of viewing things. Something in the system, even if we're kind of doing all right, it seems to be something in the system within us prompts us to start looking towards who we truly are. And we realize this limitation that we've put on ourselves. And with every realization, oh, that's a limit, it's like an unveiling, a falling away of who we're not to be more of who we truly are. Knowing who we truly are is not fixed. It's the ocean, it's everything. And coming to see, I just saw this in this moment, that we've always been who we truly are. That's never gone anywhere, which is pretty cool. And it's all innocent. So whatever conditioning, whatever limits you find that your system has learned, know that it's a system that has learned things. It's not you. It wasn't you. You didn't decide, I didn't decide I'm going to learn to be confident, and I'm going to learn to be extroverted, and I'm going to learn that that's me, and I'm making a choice about that. I'm also going to make a choice about how, although I think I'm that, I'm not always that. And when I'm not that, I feel like I'm rubbish, and that I'm not really good enough, and that actually that extrovert armor might be hiding the fact that I really think that I'm not good enough, but it's a really good front to put on, and it's a mask. I didn't choose any of that. You didn't choose any of yours. My system, the system here learned it. And that is what teaches us. That's what teaches us what we're not. And then we can see who we are, who we truly are. Yeah. Okay, so that's half past. So I'm wondering, Stacey, what should we do at this point? I should read some comments, maybe.
I mean, that was just wonderful, though. How much do you have left here?
Good question.
I'm wondering if maybe, well, I don't know. What do you feel is right in this moment, Vicky?
Yes, let me just tune into that a second.
What is your cat called?
Millie. Hello, Millie.
Hi, Millie.
Hi, Millie. You're on camera, Millie cat. Where's your pussy cat? Do you know what feels right, actually, Stacey, is to leave it there, interestingly. I didn't expect that. I wonder if I run something else on the other metaphors that I've got to explore and share, kind of as a part 2, maybe, or something.
You're more than welcome to come back and do another.
I'm just going to invite myself. The extrovert is inviting herself. The part that now thinks that extrovert is bad is now retreating. Oh my God, I can't believe you just volunteered as if you would be invited back. Wish, 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 wish.
People are asking you to come back. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Cool, let's do a part 2. All right, lovely. Okay, great.
Absolutely. And I feel like, this is the great place for people. I think maybe... there's just so much here now to start reflecting on, isn't there, for ourselves? So.
Okay, brilliant. So we'll pause for a part 2. There were a couple of bigger comments, Stacey. I'm just going to read them. Do I matter? That really resonates with the way I have often always tried to find a purpose in the world in the past, finding a way to be and making sure if I am useful, it makes sense. Yes, thank you for explaining that. Isn't it just? I matter if I'm useful. I matter if I'm funny. I matter if I'm loud. I matter if I'm quiet. I matter it, and it's all got conditions on it. Beautiful. All good. Somebody who knows more about Gabor Mate tells us that what we see as our personality is actually a combination of innate traits and also learned behaviour, ways we've learned to cope with, stay attached in those relationships in our younger life. Very cool. Great clarification. Nice, thank you. Okay, and then lots of nice things about Millie Cat. She's very grateful. She's now basking in the sunshine. Everyone,
I did love the comment about the cat doesn't believe they're separate from your presentation.
Oh, I didn't see that. The cat's not
go a little bit higher because it was really funny.
That's brilliant. No, she doesn't know. She doesn't think she's, I don't know. I just very interesting. Does the cat know she's separate at all? I don't know. Okay, so then there's people saying, okay, great, and goodbye. Okay, lovely. Super. Thank you so much for having me. And I will look forward to part 2.
I'm looking forward to part 2. That's amazing.
Cool. All right, my lovelies. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for all your contributions and the comments. So amazing. Lovely. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thanks so much for coming.
How do we end it, Stacey? Do I just need to leave?
I'll click end session in a minute. I'll just wait for people to say bye. Yeah, and if anyone has any questions or any reflections that might come up for you after this session and you want to pass them on to Vicky, are you on? You're
on the new app.
Yeah. So yeah, feel free to share anything in the app, post a comment, start a discussion or something with what's come up for you. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's a great idea, Stacey. Thank you. Yeah, exciting.
Lovely. Okay, right. Well, I will end the session now, though. So thank you all so much for coming, and I hope you will enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye, everyone.